Today is Saturday. Excuse me, December 8th. I had been out of my pre-workout for a while, and it just came yesterday after work. Woo! When I tell you, sometimes you just need a little bit of pre-workout in your life to change your workout. I killed the gym today. I really did. I killed the gym today, and I'm proud of myself. That's all. I'm very proud. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, first day of the new year, and I'm so excited. All I can say is I did my measurements for the first time since November, and I done took my pre-workout. I'm about to do that video right there. Stay tuned. Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn, and for the past several weeks, I have been sharing my GLP-1 journey with you, and I am back for another update. This video will be a lot longer than my other updates because I want to provide you with a comprehensive overview of almost everything that I've experienced so far in the past 5 months of being on this medication, in the hopes that someone who is considering starting the medication, it might answer some of your questions. And I also was thinking about what I would have liked to have seen in one video when I first started. So hopefully I achieved that in this video. But before I begin, I want to remind you that all the month of January, which is my birthday month, I am offering my ebook for free download. I wrote a book in 2022 that was published and want to share with you for free. It is not about weight loss. It is a series of short stories, true stories, in fact, about my life. And it includes a series of writing prompts at the end, and it serves more as a therapeutic journal than anything. At least that's what my goal of the book was. And so, anyways, if you're interested, all the applicable links will be in the description box. I just wanted you to know it's still free for the whole month of January. Okay, cascading into this video. So again, I started on compounded semaglutide back in the first week of August of 2024. My current weight is 187.1. That's what I weighed in today when I went to the doctor's office. By the way, today is Friday, January the 3rd. And no, I'm not looking down because I was like, girl, the date is right there on your computer. So why was you looking down on your calendar? I don't know. My calendar's still there, but whatever. So anyway, I did have my doctor's appointment this morning. It went really well, and while I have had an increase in poundage gain from last week's weigh-in, the metrics, as you know, they never lie. And at my 6 weeks appointment, I weigh in on what's called an in-body scan, and so the in-body scan is a comprehensive inside look at your metabolic. So it calculates your body fat percentage, um, BMI. It breaks down each area of your body in terms of fat to muscle ratio. It also has water on it. And every time I go my 6 weeks appointment, I get a printout that has all of the detailed information in it. And what was critical in terms of my success. Although my weight from my last week's weigh-in, which I weigh in at home in between the doctor's appointments, um, I am down since my last doctor's appointment, which was 6 weeks ago. I am down. Looks like my body fat percentage is the last doctor's appointment. I'm looking down because I'm looking at my little body scan. I can't see that. I'm looking at my body scan thing, but my last one, 46.1% was my body fat. And when I got on the scale today, it was 43.8%. But that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing was the muscle gain. So my skeletal muscle mass in pounds was 57.8 at my previous doctor's appointment, and today it was 59.3. So my doctor was super proud. Physician, sorry, I see a nurse practitioner. She was super proud. She was just like, did you ever get into, powerlifting? I'm like, no, not yet. I'm still working on that. But she was like, the fact that you are like increasing your muscle is so awesome. Now, of course, I was stuck on trying to get to a solid 20 pounds lost on the scale, right? Because I started off at 204. And to be in at 187, I was really hoping to have some even numbers, like even distribution around here, at 184. But my physician was like, she didn't say this because, she different than us. But I'm gonna break it down in my language. She was like, girl, you tripping. Like you have lost 19.8 pounds of fat because you have to do the math on the muscle gain versus the fat loss. And I feel like I'm a pretty smart chick, but I'm not a science brain person. I have to work really hard at math and stuff like that. But the bottom line is this. She was like, you're doing really good. I'm super proud. Keep up the great work. We decided to continue on the same dosage, which is currently 20 units. And with that, I'm going to pause because I pre-recorded earlier some data that I cataloged for myself. I was going to try to break down like my measurements by month for you so you can see, and I measured three areas. Just so you know when you're about to review these charts, because I'm going to drop in the screen share in just a second here. But I measured my natural waist, which is the smallest part of your waist, my lower waist, which I consider to be around my belly button area, and then my hips. I chose those three areas because I tend to hold fat the most in my bottom half because I'm pear shaped. And so, as you can see, what I've done is just plugged in my measurements since August the 5th when I started, all the way up until this month, January, so that you can see a visual of the measurements reduction over an extended period of time. And as you can see, the most significant change that I've noticed has been in the lower waist from August, it being at 37 inches to January present day, it being at 33 and a half inches. The other thing that I wanted to show you too was my dosage here on this worksheet. And I did it broken down by weeks. So currently I am on finishing up week 22, of course, which is today. And you can see that I started off on a very low dosage of just 5 units for the first couple weeks, and then gradually increased to 10, and then from there gradually increased to 20 week 10, excuse me, on week 9. And then from week 9 all the way to today, which is highlighted in the green section on the right, I have been administering 20 units per week. And even with meeting with my physician this morning, we both agreed that, don't need to change anything that's working. As long as we can get results on the lower dosages, we need to go ahead and maintain that. So, thing I want to talk to you about is some questions that I think you might be curious about that no one has asked me in the comments. I just want to be honest about that. No one's asked me any questions in the comments or anything, but I was trying to think about how I can make the most out of this video in terms of usefulness. So I typed up a few questions that I thought might be of interest to you. If you're considering, or like you might be on the same journey as me and just curious. So I'm going to dive right into those questions. So, first of all, disclaimer, I am not diabetic, but when I started, I weighed in at 204, as you've probably seen at this point by now, and I am 5'4". So clearly 200, being over 200 pounds and 5'4", while I wasn't in the diabetic category, I was in the obese category as far as BMI, and frankly still am, even though I'm at 187. But the body fat percentage is like everything, especially because I hold, again, most of my weight on my lower half. And I think also I'm going to be dropping some pictures throughout so that you can see to problem, which is awesome. Like I'm on the last loop of my belts that I wear the most, and they're too big, to be frank with you, which is great. So I said all that to say that sometimes the loss is not always going to reflect on the scale, the number on the scale. And it's really hard to kind of get out of your head because, like one of the things I've experienced is like I want to see the number go down. So I'm constantly battling like my own mental status of wanting to see the pounds down, but also making sure that I calculate the stuff that doesn't show on the scale. And frankly, that's been probably one of the harder things for me on this journey so far. But I am getting better at it as I, continue to kind of course correct myself when I find myself going down that rabbit hole, if you will. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is like why I decided to use the medication instead of doing it the quote natural way. Frankly, before I started the semaglutide, like I had kind of looked into it. Even back, I think it was maybe January of 2024. I had went to a weight loss clinic and got some phentermine or whatever, which didn't work. And that's a story for a whole nother day. But basically, it didn't work. And they had semaglutide, but they was talking about some $1,400, and I was like, nope, sure not. And so then I was like, that's okay, I'm finna do this, I know I can be disciplined, do this stuff, just grind it out. And I'm 46, about to be 47 this month, and so um, the grinding out worked well for me, I would say late 20s, 30s. But again, I'm 46, and there are other things that are factored in, to health and wellness as you age. And so my mindset changed because I'm like, well, especially after watching a whole bunch of videos, admittedly, about other people's journeys, but I was like, well, if there is a tool out there that can help me even a little bit, just kind of get the edge, off, then why not consider it? And frankly, I didn't think it was going to work for me. I really truly didn't. Like when I went to my doctor's office, I'm in Denver, and so I went to my primary care doctor's office, and I was just like, is this going to work? Have you seen success with your patients? And she's like, yeah, yeah, we've seen success. Like it's doable. You have to do the work, but it's doable, and the medication does work. And I was still like really not a believer. And then especially like after that first like 4 to 6 weeks, you see other people and on the YouTube, and they're losing like freaking 25, 30 pounds in 1 month, and you're like, what's wrong with me? And so every 6 weeks, like my physician, her name's Stephanie, she's like, girl, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to lose weight that fast. You're losing weight at the right rate. And also, you're building muscle. So, focus on that. And so, just having to, like I said, continue to kind of course correct, like my thought process, behind the whole number on the scale versus what's actually, showing up like physically, what I'm saying, like in my body makeup. And, so I was like, so far so good. Like the medication is working for me. You saw that I'm on the same dosage for weeks on end now. And we decided not to increase my dosage after my appointment this morning. So I'm still going to maintain the 20 units for the next 6 weeks too, which I think is phenomenal to still be able to see the gains that I have and be on such a low dose. So I'm grateful for that. I work out about uh, 4 to 6 times a week. Originally, my workout started off. Now, let me just say this. I was already working out consistently before I started compounded semaglutide. Like I was already doing more cardio than lifting, but I still was doing some resistance training too. But my resistance training consisted of like five, 5 pounds, 8 pounds, and 10 pounds. Rarely, if ever, did I go over the 10 pounds because I had that fear of, that women have sometimes in bulking up. So I never went over that really. And then when I met with Stephanie, my physician, she was like at my very first visit, she was like, I want you to focus on a few things while you're on this medication. If you focus on these few things, I promise you, you're going to see some results. The first thing was protein. She said that I needed to be on 60 to 80 something grams of protein per day. Now, that may seem a lot, but at first, my go-to was protein shakes. So I bought a high protein, 28 gram per serving protein shake. I added, some yogurt to that. That was like another 12 to 15. And so you can actually get to 60 grams of protein fairly quickly. And so my first few months, I think I was just mostly focused on making sure that I got my protein in. I was still working out, but I didn't really count calories, even though I had logged food in my fitness pal. My number one objective was not to count calories. It was just to make sure I got that protein in, since she had stressed the importance of it. And then the next game changer, and this is what I would say has been the money, has been that weightlifting. I cannot stress this enough. Like, I recently, I would say the past 2 weeks, increased my weight. So remember, I was just saying, like, when I first started, I was doing like the fives, the eights, the tens. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your bicep curls. You know what I'm saying? Your uh, French dips or whatever for your triceps. Squats, whatever, lunges, the whole nine. And then I started to slowly inch up. So my current like weight range as far as the dumbbell is concerned is 10s, 15s, 20s, seldom 20s, but when I really want to push it, I use the 20s that I have at home. When I'm at the gym, of course, they have heavier weights and more options available. So I tend to go heavier or higher reps when I'm at the gym. Um, and that has, like I said, that's been the game changer. Like, I be on the bench press. um, I get on the devil machine, which I don't like at all, but it's good for me. That Stairmaster is a devil, okay? That is a devil in the gym. And have not grown to like the Stairmaster at all yet. I think the total number of times I've been on that freaking Stairmaster, like from a minute standpoint, has been like, I think I did 20 minutes one day, and that about killed me, honestly. It's just a different kind of cardio equipment. But I said all that to say that right now my focus is definitely on lifting. And so out of the 4 to 6 times per week, I'm lifting the majority of the time. Like, I'm lifting 4 to 5 times out of those 4 to 6 days a week that I work out, and still maintaining my protein. Again, not as diligent on logging like I should be in my fitness pal. And I think I mentioned that in my video last week. But so I'm not as diligent in that area. However, like, the protein coming in, that's and lifting weights, game changer. I have no doubt that by the time like end of March, and certainly, baby, by Memorial Day weekend, it's gonna be on and popping. Okay, I already talked about the medication and the dosage in a screenshot, and I'm looking down at my notes here. The next thing I wanted to touch on is, did I tell anyone that I was gonna be starting? I sure did not. I sure did not. And frankly, it wasn't because um I was fearful of what other people would say. It was because I really didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know if it was going to work for me. At the time, even back in August, this I feel like more accepted now, but I think feel like back in August of 2024, it was still a lot of controversial statements being made about people using the medication for weight loss versus people who are actually diabetics. And so I didn't want that noise. I was like, I made a decision for my overall health and well-being. That's that on it. And so, and if you look at my videos as far as this GLP-1 stuff, I didn't even start making videos about it till I think I was like 12 weeks in. So I was just like, nah, let me just test it out and see. I didn't even tell my husband, honestly. And the reason why I didn't tell him is because, again, I shared this in a video previously, is that I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to answer any questions. I didn't want to, hear the commentary. It's my decision. Let me just do what I need to do what I need to do. So no, I did not tell anyone at first. Now, like I said, it's not a secret. If somebody just come up to me and ask me, I'm gonna tell them the truth because I'm a transparent person. And also I'll share. But as far as broadcasting, aside from this YouTube channel and my immediate family, Marlon and the kids, now, I, it's not something that I'm just Lulu, we on the GLP-1. We're not doing that. So okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this, and that is um, some things that I've noticed that I didn't expect about myself on this time around, because I've lost weight before, but again, I've never gotten to the body that I dreamed about that's on my vision board. But I will start backwards with like one of the most recent things that happened, which was today on my way back from the gym. And the rec center is right down the street from my house. So I just walk when the weather is decent enough. But I have this North Face coat that I bought like it's like the North Face with that come down to the knee, but it don't have the fur hood. Anyways, it's like a North Face bubble coat that I bought when we first moved here. Now, when we first moved here, I was in the 170s. By here, I mean Denver. We moved here, oh shoot, 8.5 years or so ago. I was in the 170s. Okay, which tells you how much weight I kind of gained over the years of drinking real good beer and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. And this coat ain't made for pear shaped people with assets. Let's just say that. Okay, it's made for more straight up and down. Anyhow, so I was coming home from the gym today, and for years now, when it gets cold like this in the wintertime, it's got like the double zip. So the zipper can come open from the bottom and it can come open from the top. And for years now, I've not been able to zip it past my hips because you've seen the measurements, so you know I had some wide hips. And today I was coming home from the gym and I said, let me just see. In my mind, I still couldn't zip it all the way, you know. And so I said, let me just see. And that thing was still snug. But do you know that I could zip it up today? I was super grateful. I was super grateful. And then another highlight that happened was um, I think it was just a few days ago now, and I was talking to my youngest daughter. And by the way, all of my kids are young adults. We have one at home. That's the youngest baby girl. The other three are out on their own. Anyway, I was in her, talking to her because I had took my measurements, and I was like, oh my God, thankfully, finally my hips. I'm losing on my hips, thank God. And she said, Mom, I wanted to tell you, I do notice a difference, and I can just tell that you're happy. And this particular this particular child of ours has been through a lot the past two two plus years. And it meant a lot. It meant a freaking lot that that she noticed, because you hope and you want, to set the standard and the example and set the example for your people and definitely your kids and stuff. And so the fact that she said that, it meant it meant the world. It really meant the world. And my husband tells me all the time too, but because I know what she's been through and because I know there's always somebody watching, but the people who matter most to me has always been and probably always will be my family. And so God, get it together. Bottom line is on the weight loss journey, I think the one thing that I've noticed that has been like so critical is like mindset shift and change, and then things. I don't know why on other weight loss journeys, maybe I paid attention to it, but maybe I was just so busy with life that I really wasn't intentional about some of the other unseen things that also fall off or take place. Um, and for whatever reason, this time around, I'm just fully like present with, you know, the things that are happening and the changes that are being made. And I'm so grateful. Like, I'm actually truly grateful for the freaking makers of this drug, all the compounding pharmacies, even if you are, getting sued or whatever, because it really truly is just like the other, YouTubers say, it really is changing lives. And yeah, I can't say enough about it, so if you are considering, you're on a journey and you're considering, I got no Kleenex in here, and you're considering getting on this medication, I talk to your physician, make sure everything's aligned for you to do it. But man, it's been a game changer for me, and I'm just looking forward to staying on this journey. I'm looking forward to having my thighs out come Memorial Day weekend. Oh, by the way, I didn't even tell you, so my goal is to get down to 29% body fat. And as of today, my body fat is 43.8. So we got a ways to go, but first 20 pounds of fat is down. So I'm grateful about that. And I'm looking forward to the next 20 or the next milestones. And so stay tuned for next week's update, which will be a lot shorter than this one, but wanted to provide you with a comprehensive look at it today. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I'm actually going out on a double date tonight, which I'm really excited about. And I will see you again next week. In the meantime, remember, the future you is waiting on you. I'm so glad that you joined me this week. I hope to see you again in the future. Have a great weekend.